everybody. Welcome to the Awkwardness Podcast. Hard to believe it's December already, but we're here to do what we do and interview songwriters about why they started writing, have them play one of the first songs they ever wrote, and talk about what kept them going and what they're doing now. I'm your host, Rose Sean, and my awesome co-hosts are Terence LeClaire and Tony Tancredi. Anyone else feel like they needed a week to decompress from Thanksgiving, or is that just me? Anyway, I'm talking to you from my parents' house in Virginia, and did you know that when you leave Southern California, there's this thing called winter? I'm not sure I'm a fan. I'll tell you who I'm a big fan of, this week's guest. Originally from Mackay, Australia, he started his musical career as half of the alt-country duo Tia and Jack before going solo and relocating to LA. He's toured in support of Maisie Peters, Tate McRae, and recent Awkwardness guest Caitlin Tarver. He plays all the instruments, produces, sings beautifully, and he's as cute as can be. It's Jack Gray. Jack tells us about his dad's Sunday pub gigs, touring around Queensland as a teen, and learning how to actually sing. Stick around to hear his beautiful Australian-made guitar in action and to hear about his very own Fleetwood Mac moment. Relax and enjoy our hang with Jack Gray.
1, 2, maybe just a little bit more voice. 1, 2, yeah, cool. I've been getting by at a time. I will get a lot to myself at the time. She's heartbroken. Cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Jack, welcome.
Hey.
Welcome,
Jack Gray.
Hey, thanks guys. Thanks for having me.
Awkwardness.
Yeah.
I'm so stoked to see you, man. It's been only like a month, right?
Yeah, and you've been all around the world.
Oh yeah, I just got back from China.
Yeah.
It was very fun. Thank you, Zella, for taking me to China.
There
but
you
now
go.
I'm here in Burbank with you, and I'm so stoked to see you.
Right around the corner. I'm in Studio City at the moment. So
Oh, nice.
yeah,
With Jill.
with Jill. Yes, we've got a little bachelor pad going on. We had a party the other night for Halloween.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Had the ping pong table set up.
Yes.
Had to dish out some L's on people. But you know, it was,
fun.
Are you're really good.
probably better than you.
Oh, you know what though? I stopped. We never played pool.
We never played pool.
on tour. I told him I was going to beat his ass one-handed. Mm-hmm. And we
At
never got to
pool?
play. Yeah, pool.
How?
Apparently, he's a god at pool, and I don't. I believe that you're amazing, but I don't believe you're going to beat me one-handed.
So my buddy Matt and I, he was playing one-handed, back in the day, and I was like, "What the heck?" And he was beating me, so I got upset. So
Like
we
how?
started just playing a lot, and it's just a short guy thing. I don't know. It's just like it
But
works, and
You
I can
just,
beat people
like,
now.
You just kind of like use it like a spear.
I don't like joust. I like
Yeah.
lay the stick on the
Oh,
side of the
because you
wall.
got the little
On the
thing that
cush.
holds it.
No, I
yeah.
don't use the bridge.
Oh.
I just lay it on the side of the table and
So many questions.
then boom, and then I just slay people.
I just don't understand how that technique is going to beat me.
I'll get you. I'll get you.
I
Not
can't-
not in ping pong, but in pool.
All right, so you don't play a lot of ping pong?
No, I mean I want to.
One-handed, you could play ping pong. That's how you play.
Shots
it.
fired.
I could beat you one-handed in ping pong.
But yeah, next year we're gonna have Jack back, and we'll have an update and see how that went.
Yeah, see
Okay,
how the game was.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh no, you'll see beforehand on Instagram when I'm
Oh,
literally
yeah.
bending him over, spanking him.
I'm just like over the pool table.
Yeah, why?
Face down.
And again, that's one-handed. So
Yeah.
keep with the thing.
Thank you,
Yeah,
sir.
everything
May I
I do
have
is
another?
one-handed.
Oh my goodness.
Well, Jack, tell us about yourself.
Oh my goodness.
Oh
You're
my God.
you're from Australia, obviously.
I'm from Australia.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm a musician, artist, if you would call it that. And I grew up in a little place called Mackay in North Queensland. Do you guys know where?
I do, actually. I haven't been to that town specifically, but when I went to Australia some years ago, I spent most of the time in northern Queensland.
Oh, really? Like whereabouts?
Cairns mostly, yeah.
Cairns.
Yeah.
Interesting. What brought you to Cairns?
I had a friend who was living there who was like
Cool.
doing, tour guide stuff.
With alligators and crocodiles
Yeah,
and
yeah, the like rainforest walks and things
Sick.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a great time.
Nice.
It's a beautiful part of the world. And yeah, so I grew up in Mackay, which is like a 10-hour drive south of that. So
Oh, wow,
it's
okay.
kind of central Queensland. I don't know why we all just call it North Queensland. But
It's not really north.
no. When you look at the East Coast, it's all in like 10-hour drive increments. Like Cairns is kind of at the top. 10 hours south in a car is Mackay. Then 10 hours south of that is Brisbane.
Oh, okay.
10 hours south of that is Sydney. Then 10 hours south is Melbourne. And then you're kind of at the bottom.
Wow.
Wow.
It truly is a big
giant.
country.
It really is.
Crazy.
Yeah.
It really is. So yeah, I grew up in Mackay and I have a very musical family. My dad is a drummer and he's been in bands his whole life. Unfortunately, not anymore.
But yeah, I grew up just surrounded by music, and I've been obsessed with it forever. So yeah, when I finished school, I moved to Brisbane. I spent a year there, then moved to Sydney, spent 2 years there. Then I moved to LA, and I've been here for like 3 years.
What were some songs you were obsessed with, like growing up? Did you listen to songs your dad would play? Or?
Yeah, a couple of like the old classics, like because my dad was interested in like a pub band, so they were doing like the Brown Eyed Girls, the Wagon Wheels, and then they did some like darker kind of more like Nightwish. Do you remember?
No.
Oh.
They're like it's a kind of darker like heavy metal stuff.
Okay, yeah.
Weird, but we loved it. Dad also growing up, we loved a bit of Nickelback, which was always fun.
Yeah.
And Bruno Mars. I mean, we listened growing up as a kid. We listened to just like pop radio. So whatever was on like the pop radio station in the town. So like Bruno Mars and Lady Gaga at the time or whoever.
Yeah.
I mean, I have two older sisters, so I kind of just listened to whatever they put in front of
I
me.
can relate.
I have an older sister too, and that was the same thing. I my introduction to like cool music. I'm doing quote marks.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But it was cool music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, I mean, that's like something we talk about a lot, like having that sort of like musical influence person in your life, usually like a sister or a cousin or something like that.
I think I had a few of them and all at different stages. Obviously, as a kid, it was like my sisters and my dad. And then when I got to like high school, I had a best friend who was also into music. That's how we kind of connected. And he introduced me to like what I would put in quotes for cool music, like the alternative stuff.
Like what?
Like, well, alternative music in Australia, like Chet Faker and Sticky Fingers and
Chet Faker was awesome.
He's so dope. And then like ballpark music, San Cisco, just all like the indie bands at the time. And then like the 1975 who went on to become probably my biggest inspiration.
Yeah.
I like your cover of them. A lot.
Same.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you so much. That's very sweet. Yeah. And who else? Frank Ocean, Bon Iver. Actually, Bon Iver is probably one of my all-time faves.
Oh yeah.
That first album changed my life.
Yeah.
Did it?
Yeah. I listened to it many, many, many times.
Yeah.
Was it like hearing guitar in those songs that made you want to pick it up, or was it?
Well, I as I said, I grew up surrounded by music, and like my whole childhood was like going to Dad's pub gigs on Sundays because I couldn't get into the Friday, Saturday night ones at the pub, and then packing up on Sunday afternoon to being the roadie, and like there's just always musos in our house. Everyone played an instrument in my family. So when I was like 6, I picked up the guitar. He had this old Ibanez acoustic under the bed.
Nice.
Yeah, and I became so obsessed so fast. And from then it was just like whatever I could get my hands on. I was just trying to just play everything all the time. And annoying
like
the shit out.
piano or just
Piano,
percussion?
drums,
Yeah.
bass,
Nice.
guitar. And singing, I was really shy with singing though until like
Really?
high school. Yeah. A girl actually brought it out of me to start singing, funnily
Nice.
enough. I wouldn't sing in front of anyone. And when I was in, I think, grade 9 or 10, this girl who I had a crush on, she was like doing cool things. She was out gigging and just being a little rock star. And so in order to talk to her, I had to talk about music, and she invited me along to a gig. Then she brought me up, and I was petrified.
Oh my God.
Absolutely petrified.
Oh.
And I actually haven't thought of this in so long. And then I got up and I made an absolute fool of myself, and probably sounded horrible, but at the time I was like just stoked to be there.
Oh my God, what song do you sing?
Oh, I think it was like I don't even remember who sings it. It was like "Bring It On Home" by it's a country song.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I don't remember who's.
That's the chorus of it, or that's the.
That's like the hook. Like, the chorus, like the
yeah.
tagline.
Awesome. So country song was the first. That's your first vocal. Did it feel good to like sing that kind of style of music, or you're just kind of doing it?
Well, I was just doing it because the only way to get on a stage really in Mackay was to play these country music festivals. So there was like a real scene for it, and basically with this girl, I eventually started dating her, and we started a duo called. Ready for this? Tear and Jack. And that was a thing for 3 years. We made a little EP, and we just toured around doing country music festivals throughout high school. Then we broke up, and we still had to. We broke up relationship wise, and then we had like a year's worth of commitments we still had to do.
Oh my goodness!
And then my dad was the drummer. He played the acoustic cajon drum with us. So
Oh my gosh, cute.
during these 3-hour gigs at the pub, my dad would have to be like the the middleman. I'd be like, Dad, what song are we playing? And then he would have to us here, and then it would come back to it was rough. But then we made up, and then, you know, we're on great terms now. She's awesome. She's killing it too.
Wait, so for that first song, you were shy about singing, but you could already play guitar by that point?
Yeah, I wasn't shy about playing instruments.
Yeah.
Like drums, guitar, piano. But singing, for some reason, probably because I was horrible. Mind you, I had the worst voice. I mean, it's like I saw this clip of Ed Sheeran playing a voice memo of when he first started, and it was like pretty bad. Mine is that, but like 10 times worse.
I do love the vulnerability of him sharing that, though. Like,
Yeah.
because like,
Yeah.
see,
Everyone
you can
starts
get
somewhere.
Everyone starts somewhere. You can
Yeah.
get better.
Exactly.
But that's cool. I mean, so you had this like first. I mean, it's funny that she was just like, "All right, now's the time. You're gonna sing right now," and you were like, "Okay." But then did that kind of give you the bug for it, or it just like broke the seal,
Yeah.
and you were like, "All right, well."
It definitely broke the seal. It really pulled me out of my shell and made me realize that this is actually something I wanted to do. It was terrifying, but I'm so glad it happened.
You say you you say you were terrible when you began. I mean, did you take vocal lessons, or what did you do to develop your voice?
After that experience, I was like, I should probably get some lessons. So I had lessons with this lady for like a couple of months. It was good. I can't remember why I stopped. Yeah, I don't really remember why I stopped. This is like a very long time ago. And then I picked up a couple of months later with another vocal coach, and I did a few lessons with him. And only recently have I started doing vocal lessons again, and it's changed my life. I've been singing wrong for so long.
Yeah.
And one of my biggest regrets is that I didn't get lessons properly and stick to it from the beginning.
How were you singing wrong and singing right? Just like...
I was like singing, like spurting out of my mouth to reach these big notes. I was kind of like screaming and tensing my whole throat and face to like get to these notes, instead of like going behind the soft palate and like actually using technique. And I have no idea how to explain it. This new vocal coach I have is amazing, and I don't even know how people teach this stuff.
That's amazing.
But he's great at it, and it's opened up a whole new world for me and given me there's so much freedom in my songwriting and performing. And like that was one of the biggest problems for me in the first couple of years of doing this. It was I would always lose my voice
Oh yeah.
because I'm screaming all the time to reach these notes. And then, you know, talking after the shows is always a big problem.
Yeah.
So screaming, then talking, I just lose it after the first show. And then I'm
Yeah.
just constantly struggling to hold on to it for the rest of the
I feel
tour.
like it's the talking that kills you too. 'Cause,
Absolutely.
Yeah, if you could just
Absolutely.
like be done, but no, you have to go talk to people. You sell
For
your
an
merch,
hour.
whatever.
Right, over like house music and loud,
Yeah.
and the room's loud. Yeah, it's definitely something you got to be mindful of. But it's also like such a great part to go out and meet these people that like are fans or just like liked the music, and you know, it's great. It's just scary for the next shows, losing your voice.
Yeah. No, you don't want to miss out on like the connection experience. But yeah, I just generally speaking, I have a much harder time with like talking and like projecting when I speak.
Right.
Weirdly, even though I've taken vocal lessons too, and for some reason talking is hard. I don't know.
No, I'm with you. I'm right there with you on that.
Yeah, talking is hard, guys. That's why I
Talking
started a
is
podcast.
hard.
yeah. You're
We're
in
just
the
learning how to talk. I learn every day.
yeah. That's it.
It's kind of neat that you were able to like tour around as a high schooler. I mean, I guess the fact that your dad was in the band probably helped because there was like somebody who could drive and
For sure. I mean, we both had incredible families, incredibly supportive, and just like they were just down for the ride, and they wanted to do anything they could to help out. I think that was what allowed us to do that. And so, you know, the biggest props to our families.
We love supportive parents.
We do love
Yeah.
supportive parents.
Yeah, and I've got some of the most supportive parents out there, I think. So like, yeah, it's been the one anchor for me throughout this whole thing, because this journey, dude, it's
tough, huh?
It's tough.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's constantly changing. It's tough, and those guys really just hold the fort down.
How did they feel about you moving to the U.S.?
Oh, they were like, get out of here.
Yeah.
They're like, go like chase your dreams, go
Yeah.
make it. And I call my mum like FaceTime her like 2 times a day.
Yeah.
She's probably got to get fired soon because she has to leave the office to like talk to me, and then we talk for like 45 minutes.
That's so sweet.
That's amazing.
But so you were playing originals like in Australia together as your duo?
Yeah. We. Oh, dude, this is insane. When we broke up, she wrote a song about me, and then I had to
Lindsay
sing
and
it.
Stevie.
And then I had to sing it with her.
Mac. Oh my God. So Fleetwood Mac.
The song was called "Leave My Heart Alone."
Oh, no.
and I had to sing
Wow.
harmonies on that.
Wow.
Oh, that's brutal.
Which
Wait,
is epic.
so were you writing songs before you joined? Like,
Not really.
Yeah.
Not really. We started writing together, and oh my god, I can't even remember the songs, but I know my part. I think a couple of years ago I went back and listened to them, and I remember thinking, wow, Tia sounds great. She was great. Why was she playing with me? This that did not add up.
She saw the potential.
yeah.
I mean, maybe.
Because you're amazing now. That whole run you just did with Caitlin, watching you play and interact with the crowd, it's a really, really good show. You know what you're doing.
You are a sweetheart.
I'm not trying to be sweet. I'm telling you like it is.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, I mean, I've been playing for a long time now. So
Yeah.
and there's this funny I had this problem where I can't listen to my old songs. It just crushes me inside for some reason, or like hearing a live snippet of me performing even like a year ago or
Like
2 years ago.
embarrassed?
Embarrassment,
Really?
yeah. On one part of me is like, it sucks that like I feel like that, but then the other part of me is like, if I didn't feel like that, does that mean I haven't grown? So like,
I mean, yeah, because you're embarrassed because you're like, I'm so much better now.
right, and I
Yeah.
right, so like
yeah.
that's like how I try and spin it to make myself feel better about
Yeah.
it. But yeah,
That's true.
Getting
Yeah.
better every day.
oh dude, I shrivel up when I hear old things.
Well,
It's-
that
it
makes
is
me
weird.
think that maybe these Tia and Jack recordings, you probably sound better than you think.
oh dude, I don't
You know,
know.
I mean,
Are they online
Yeah.
anywhere? Or are they
They're
like
not online anywhere. I think when we finished school and we went our separate ways, our parents, we tasked them with like, you need to like
Scrub.
you need to scrub. Yeah, we need a clean slate.
No, so you have them still, right?
We have what we do
Send
have
me
is
one of 'em.
CDs. I've got a CD.
Send me a CD.
I can send you a CD.
I want you to mail it
Yes.
to me though. Is that cool?
Like the postal service.
Yeah, the postal
Yeah, yeah.
service,
Well,
yeah.
I don't have one on me, but I can get my mum to post it from Australia.
Oh, amazing. International mail.
I love it.
Right. So
That's so cool. I bet this sounds beautiful because I immediately think of like Star is Born, you know.
Oh,
Like,
you would, your mind would go there, wouldn't it?
it's not.
It's, I mean, dude, I don't know. It's like, it's a kid who's never written a song before with a really, really, really below average undercooked voice. And it's cute. Like, I mean, I look back and it's cute, but it does make me like want to die.
It's cute, but it makes me want to die.
We'll listen to it just so we won't play it for you.
Man.
Maybe one day I'll get the courage to do the Ed Sheeran and show people and be like,
Yeah.
hey, look,
Yeah.
it gets better.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you can actually improve this. I mean, because how many times have you heard somebody say like, "Oh, I have a terrible voice," and you're like, "Well, you know, you can take lessons, right?"
Yeah,
Right.
Just work harder at it.
Yeah,
You
right.
do get
Sometimes
better.
it takes a while.
You do get better. It is
Yeah.
like a muscle. You work it, it gets stronger. You learn things. Yeah, it really. And I at the time I didn't know that like as a kid I was like, I'm never going to be better than I am right now. Like
Right.
I didn't know it was possible to like
Yeah.
actually get.
Yeah, isn't that funny? Like you knew that practicing guitar would help you get
Right.
better at guitar, but for some reason, voice, you're like, well, this is just
This
what-
is how
yeah.
I sound.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like you said, like, boy, I sure wish I had taken lessons like way earlier and like hadn't been singing wrong for
Oh my god, that it's like one of my biggest regrets for sure. I wish I could go back in time and put in
Stick with it.
Stick with it,
Yeah.
yeah, and really just do
You
the
try.
boring
Can
stuff.
we give a shout out to this vocal teacher?
I
'Cause they-
know. Shout out. What was his or her name?
Clark.
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 Clark
Clark
Kent.
Kent.
Oh, sorry, Clark.
Kent.
Yeah, Clark.
Clark. Clark.
Yeah, my buddy Clark, mate.
Yeah.
No, he is a legend, and yeah, he kind of saved me a little bit there. So
Shout out Clark.
Shout out to Clark.
Shout out Clark.
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 Yeah.
I love that.
Sorry,
so much.
we kid because we love.
No, I do the same. I'm so obsessed with like mimicking the American accent. It's so
because
fun.
it's so
must be
it's so
like-
different.
It's
Clark.
very like
Clark. That's
Clark.
It, like even like rockwardness. It was like rockwardness.
Rockwardness.
Rock-
I
Yeah.
like it better how you say it.
Do you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rockwardness.
It's a bit closed.
As opposed to rockwardness.
Rockwardness.
It's very like
It's like
I mean, well,
funny.
like
Yeah, that's
awkward.
very, like, yeah.
Awkward is an awkward word.
French
It
was
is.
my first language, so it was very much
Really?
like, yeah, I try to remember
Sick.
what American sounds like. You know, I've been here
Right.
for so long now that I am
True.
American. But it's
Yeah.
just like, it's very like, rah, rah. It's like,
Yeah.
sounds like that, like, wah, wah, wah.
right.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I mean, Terrence is an actor as well, so you spend a lot of time in that space thinking about like how that person would say the thing.
Right. Yeah. Of
And
course.
I've worked on some shows with dialect coaches, and that is very funny to me to like hear the notes they give.
Yeah. Yeah.
I had to learn a Southern accent when I was a teenager for a role I was going out for and stuff. And like, I think it really messed me up because I started just talking like that afterwards. I just like it just became my voice.
I love
You know?
the southern
Yeah.
accent, dude. I'm rewatching for the second time Ozark right now.
Yeah.
And have you guys seen it?
I have.
I've seen the
it-
first two
Yeah,
seasons.
I've
First
done
two?
like yeah.
It is just
It's beautiful.
I can't
It's like-
floor it, dude. The acting, the casting, the way it's directed, the way it's
Yeah.
shot. It's just
Love Jason Bateman. Yeah.
Jason Bateman is my spirit animal. No swear. Are we,
No, you can.
Yo,
you can
swear away,
fucking
yeah.
cuss.
you can cuss, bro. Oh yeah, my favorite line, and I still say it to this day, is Ruth. Like the is she a redneck or hillbilly or whatever the term is?
Sure, you know.
One
I
of
mean,
them.
Well, it's like it takes place in the Ozarks. Like,
So
yeah.
probably.
Yeah, I like,
She's one of them, and she goes, "I don't know shit about fuck." And I said, "I don't know shit about fuck, dude."
I think I've heard that.
Yeah,
Like
you've
I
heard
may
that.
have seen like a clip online or something. But yeah, I do love that.
It's so good.
And
Yeah.
as someone who's from the South myself, I've developed a real appreciation for the accent now that I don't live there anymore.
Right, of course,
You know,
yeah.
it kind of like when you live there, you start to just
like
go like,
music.
ugh, you know. But,
Yeah.
But now that I live in LA, I'm like, yeah, I love country music. And then like I go visit my parents and I'll like hear people in the grocery store just being like, how about them Hokies? That was a good game. And I'm like,
Oh wow, that was so
and,
good.
and it's just like music to my ears.
It's so charming. I find that southern accent so charming.
But the Australian accents too, man. We love them here.
oh man,
you
I
know?
love an Australian accent.
Oh, dude, they're so funny, aren't they?
life?
When my lord, that was pretty good. Yeah, when you spend a bunch of time away and then you go back and you get to the airport and you hear like over the customs like the guy speaking, it hits you like so fast. It's like such a funny accent. I'm so like used to hearing American accents now.
Yeah.
But I love it. Yeah, I mean it's the same thing. There's like the harsh versions of it, and then there's the really endearing, charming
Oh
ones.
yeah.
So speaking of airports, like what made you make the move? Was it post breakup? Was it?
No. It was, you know what? There's a bit of a ceiling in Australia for being an artist, being a musician. Like there's only so much money you can make. There's a lot less people there, and it's just a smaller industry. So I wanted to have a crack at this one, and I just
Yeah.
thought the best way to do that is be here. And so the whole process of getting here was, you know, quite hard. I was lucky to have the support of my management, and they were the ones that were like, look, if you want to break over in the States or elsewhere, you have to be there. Otherwise, it's out of sight, out of mind. You'll just miss opportunities. It's too expensive to get you over to blah, blah, blah. And like, so.
It's wild because like you could have like there's also Nashville and stuff. So like how come LA?
Well, so my management partnered up with another manager over here, a longtime friend of hers who he's now has been a part of my team for years now, and he lived here in LA, and so when I first got here, I lived with him for a year.
Oh, cool.
In West
Nice.
Hollywood.
Oh,
that's
wow.
awesome.
Yeah.
Just being a bougie little bitch.
That sounds great.
That was really fun. And then she's Australian, my manager.
Shout out Leonie.
Shout out Leonie.
She's awesome.
So yes, she's Australian, and she moved out here with her husband Rob, who is actually, funnily enough, I should definitely mention Rob. He is definitely one of my biggest like mentors, influences.
Yeah, shout out Rob.
Yeah, he's a music producer. Worked a bunch with just some crazy artists back in the day, and he kind of taught me Logic.
Oh, sweet.
And yeah, he's just been, you know, mentoring me this whole journey all the way through. So shout out to Rob.
Shout out Rob.
Shout out Rob.
And so lived with Jim for a year in West Hollywood. Then Leonie moved out to Calabasas, so I moved in with them for a year, which I loved. But man, it's hot out at Calabasas.
And it's far.
And it's far.
It's far.
Very far.
So far, bro. Yeah, no, it's so far. And like having a session every day that's either in Studio City or North Hollywood or where it was like 45 at best in the car there and then back. It was like an hour and a half or hour and 20. So I was just wasting so much money on fuel.
Yeah.
And it was in the summer, dude. It gets hot out there.
Yep.
And then I met Jillian.
Yeah.
Yes.
My
How'd you meet
girlfriend.
Jillian?
I played a show. I was supporting an artist called, that was a weird way to phrase it. I was supporting Maisie Peters.
Okay.
Yeah, she's amazing. And we played a show at the Troubadour, and Jillian was there, and she saw me play. And so she messaged me after the show and was like, this is her way of sliding into the DM. She's like, I love that third last song you played. What was it called? we should write sometime.
Nice.
I didn't see that message for a year.
A year.
A full year.
Oh no.
And it was just in my hidden requests,
Oh,
on
yeah.
Instagram,
Yeah,
which
'cause,
I didn't know was a thing.
Yeah.
and then,
Same.
Yeah, right. And then
Yeah.
I had my management hired a day-to-day guy. He came on and he went through that folder. He's like, oh, you should reply to all these people. I mean, this is the thing. So I
Yeah,
repli-
this one's your future girlfriend.
right? Who would have thought? So then I replied to like all of them, and I replied to Jill, and we started talking. And she's from Philadelphia, but she's an actress, so she lives out here in LA and has since she was like 12. So spent a bunch of time here, and she was in Philly at the time, and she's like, whenever we're both in LA, let's link up, and we did, and then we just kind of.
She's amazing.
Isn't she?
She's so amazing. Seriously, there's no one like her. She's like the nicest person ever.
Right.
And it was so helpful on the tour.
Right. Yeah. I mean, she was the merch seller for a bunch of the shows.
Yeah.
And she
Stepped in.
She stepped in, and she's so smart, dude. She's got the
Oh,
craziest.
super smart. So funny too.
Yeah, super
Jill,
funny.
you're hilarious.
Yeah, Jill, and you suck. Yeah. So.
That's hilarious that you didn't see the message for a year. Like
That's
to
crazy.
the point where she's like, well, that was a swing and a miss. And
Right.
then it's like, oh, hey,
I know.
actually.
Could you imagine like a year just being like, oh wow.
Well,
You know what? I don't think she thought twice about it. She's like an avid. She messages people all the time.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
That's
so
good.
she probably
Yeah.
didn't even remember that she messaged me. But
So it was you after a year being like, oh hey.
right, I was like, so this is probably the longest response time in history. But the third song was, I actually have no idea. I can't remember. Yes, let's ride sometime.
That's
Yeah.
brilliant.
Yeah, funny.
Love that story.
So you were playing with Maisie Peters?
Playing with Maisie Peters, we did a North American tour
Oh, really?
in 2000, right before COVID in
Oh.
2019.
Well, good thing you got it in before COVID, because
Right?
oh man, no, I have a friend who is a huge fan of hers. That's why my ears perked up.
She is amazing.
Yeah.
And she's like, she deserves, and she's having crazy success right now. And she deserves every bit of it. She is like, she reminds me a little bit of Jill, actually. Really quick and smart and funny, and just super talented, great songwriter, lovely human being. It's one song.
Isn't that wild?
That's what Rob and Leonie always taught me, is like, everyone's one song away,
Yeah.
which is such an annoying thought.
Just tell me what song.
Yeah.
Is this one? How about this one? How about this one though?
I know. I've spent an insane amount of time in the last 5 years just writing. Like, I've put out like 2 EPs and like maybe a few singles, and I've written hundreds and hundreds of songs. There's loads of reasons why we haven't put songs out. I spent like 2 years fighting with a record label trying to get out. Wasn't allowed to release music.
Wow.
Oh, that sucks.
So that was a big thing. Yeah, and I just spent a bunch of time writing. And whilst it sucked at the time, I'm kind of, I try and put a positive spin on everything, because that's really
good,
all you can
yeah.
do.
Yep.
And I think what I got out of it is I just got so much better at what I do.
Yeah.
And I look back on some of the songs that I was writing at the time. I was like, okay, I'm actually glad that didn't come out, but it was a good stepping stone to get where I'm
Yeah.
at.
Right.
And so it gave me time to just get better, because if I'm being a bit of a pessimist, I feel like that's kind of a little bit of what we're missing these days, is everything's so instant with social media, and it's like, you just get so much undercooked art these days.
Yeah.
Totally.
And so like, and then just, people who aren't ready, or songs that aren't ready to be out. So it's like, it gave me time to just get better at what I do,
Yeah.
It's amazing.
at producing and writing and stuff.
I'm sure it was
This
really
is like-
frustrating.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it was so good.
It's a common tale, yeah, but that is the best way to look at it. But
Well, isn't that why Prince changed his name to a symbol? Was because he was in some
The
sort of like
artist.
dispute with
well,
the
yeah,
record label.
people
He couldn't.
shelve stuff. Yeah,
Well, he
it's
couldn't
terrible.
he couldn't release whatever it was under the name Prince.
Well, it's
Right.
it's actually it goes deeper than that, because he called himself the artist, because that's what you're called in the contracts, and there's a whole. I'll
I
let
was gonna
people
say,
Google
of
and do
course
their
Terrence
own
knows that.
rabbit hole.
You know
search on
what?
that.
We'll do a Wikipedia link
But
in
you
the
know,
show notes.
Like, this is a funny segue talking about music songwriting, because like we're kind of curious about like the first song you ever wrote is kind of the
Or-
thing, like
or as
something
far
like
back
that.
as you can.
As far
Well,
back.
The furthest point I could probably go back is a song that it's so funny, I still play to this day at my sets.
Oh, amazing!
But it's the first song that like I actually connected with as a solo artist. Like, once I got out of the duo from high school, it was like the first song that I felt proud of and released. And it's called Fools. At the time, I think I was seeing this girl, and my friends, she was kind of like super rude to my friends, and my friends hated her. And then I kind of lost a few relationships because of that.
Oh.
Not lost them, it just put a strain on them.
Yeah.
yeah, I know what that's like.
So I dramatized it. I know what that's like. So I dramatized it a little bit and wrote this kind of song. And my songwriting at the time, I didn't care about lyrics that much. I just was saying shit.
Yeah.
I was just saying things. I care. I think I care a little too much now about every lyric and everything I'm saying. It's almost a hindrance. But at the time, I didn't care. I just said anything. And I think I want to get a bit of that back, because whilst it's important to be really concise and specific with what you're saying and just what you're putting out into the world, it can put up so many boxes and blocks when you're writing.
Oh yeah.
If you have this idea of all the things you can and can't say.
Right, you're allowed to have like two metaphors in one song, or
Right.
like you don't have to extend one through the entire thing or whatever.
Exactly. You give yourself all these like crazy rules for no reason. It's like I was producing and writing a song with Jill. Jill and I are making an EP for her.
Oh, nice.
And it's
Nice.
like, I'm so proud of it. So we've got 3 songs out of the 5, and
Nice.
they're like,
Oh, I cannot wait to hear that.
oh, dude, it's so much better than my music. I'm
What?
just
Wait. I'm sure it's good, but you're amazing.
Oh, thank you so much. She's great. She's got an insane voice, and the songs are just they're turning out so great. And I've produced for a lot of friends over the years, and just for other people. I find it so much easier to produce for other people and write for other
than
people
yourself.
than myself.
Yeah.
It's so dumb.
We've heard that before.
I'm
Yeah.
sure. I've spoken to a lot of other producers and writers about it. It's a thing. You just have this idea of who you are and what you can and can't do,
Right.
and it's this
Right.
small little box
Yeah.
that you have to.
Oh, isn't that funny?
I think Grimes said something similar about how she likes writing for other people because like
More freeing.
she can say things that like she wouldn't say.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
But if
Yeah.
somebody else is singing it, it's like
It's okay.
safer.
Or it's also
something.
like, yeah, we're able to kind of see somebody and just kind of get their the picture of them, kind of like, oh, it's this kind of musician
Yeah.
or singer. And it's like, even if they do something out of left field, you're like, well, that makes sense for them because it's coming from them. But like as ourselves, it's kind of like, no, I'm this person.
well, yeah, you like
Yeah.
navel
Do not
gaze about
stray.
like, is this who Jack Gray is though? Like, is this a
Yeah.
Jack Gray song?
Right, and it's like kind of loosely connected to this other idea of like, I love performing like across the world in like a city when I don't know anyone in the crowd. I find it 10 times easier to do a show in San Francisco or Montreal because no one knows me in that crowd, and they have no preconceived ideas as to what I am. I'm just this guy on stage, and I can do or be whatever I want. And it's not like all my friends in the crowd going, "Oh, that's Jack.
Look at this dickhead.
What's Jack doing up there? Why is he doing that? Why is
Yeah.
he saying that? Why is he?"
Are they gonna like tease you later about like
Yeah.
your
Right.
moves or something?
Not in like my friends would never do that, but like
Yeah.
that's in
Yeah.
my head they do
Yeah,
that.
right. Right. I don't actually have shitty friends. I'm
Right.
just
Oh,
I'm just
just in
shitty
my
to
head.
myself in my own mind.
Exactly.
Oh,
Exactly.
So deep, so real.
So deep.
Can we hear some Fools?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Of course. This one is a little number called Fools.
I've been getting by $1 at a time. Now I gotta lie to myself, I do it all the time. She's heartbroken, I'm just broken. Somehow I do it all the time. Now I need to learn to drive, or she'll leave me behind. Need to go down the coastline, can I get a ride? She's heartbroken, I'm just broken. Somehow can I get a ride? Now I got no friends, how did this happen again? I need you to stop fucking with them. Now I got no friends, how did this happen again? I need you to stop fucking with them. Maybe I'm just a fool for you. Maybe I'm just a fool for loving you. Can you let it slide? I'm doing the time. I caught her in the act, but the fact is that I'll probably take it back tonight. She's still heartbroken, I'm just broken somehow. Can you let it slide? Now we got no friends. How did this happen again? I need to stop fucking with them. Now we got no friends. How did this happen again? I need to stop fucking with them. Maybe I'm just a fool, fool for you. Maybe I'm just a my card got declined cause she took it all out. Wasn't really much left. I guess I don't mind cause I'm already broke. Now she's under house arrest. My card got declined cause she took it all out. Wasn't really much left. I guess I don't mind cause I'm already broke. Now she's under house arrest. Now we got no friends. How did this happen again? I need to stop fucking with them. Now we got no friends. How did this happen again? I need to stop fucking with them. Oh yeah. Maybe I'm just a fool, fool for you. Maybe I'm just a
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, it's so good.
Man, that guitar sounds so
know.
good, which actually it's a great time. We wanted to ask you
Yeah.
about that
Wow.
beautiful guitar.
Tell us about
This
it.
beautiful little Maton EBG 808L. Yeah, so when I decided to move to America, I wanted to get a new guitar. And Maiden has always been my favorite. It's Australian, it's handmade, and they just have the greatest pickups, AP5 Pro pickups. And they're great acoustically, but where they really shine is on a stage. They just have so much bottom end and crisp, and it's just, they're amazing. And the reason I got this one is because on the fretboard in marble, it's like printed, it says Australian.
Yeah. Is
Yeah.
that just that model that says that?
Yeah, it's just this one particular model. They don't all have that. So I was like, it was way, way out of my budget. But
Oh, you deserve it, man. How you
I
play
know,
that
it-
Make
thing?
that thing sing.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
It
Deserve
sounds
it.
high budget.
Yeah.
thank you so much, guys. Yes.
I love that little run in that song. The
Oh, same.
Thanks.
Like,
I
so
definitely
good.
overplayed that run for sure, but it's
It's
just
so
habit.
good,
It's
and
just
you
habit.
nail it each time. It's so pleasant. It's so pleasing to watch, like the technical, just perfection. Like,
Oh yeah.
Oh, thank you. Yeah,
Well,
it's good fun.
I was listening. I mean, I was listening extra close to the lyrics because of what you
Yeah.
were saying about them, like, not making sense. But it's funny; they totally do,
They do,
make
yeah.
sense. And there's,
Right.
But I mean, I'm sure in your mind you're like, well, I mean, that's not really what happened. But it's
Right.
like, don't
Yeah,
let the
yeah.
facts get in the way of the truth, right? Like you're telling an emotional story, whether like the specifics are true to what actually happened to you. It doesn't fucking matter.
Sometimes if it's like exactly what happened, it's a bit too real. It's a bit weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit too real, or it's like, there's a really fine line, I think, like especially like in folk music, where it's like if something's like too specific, sometimes it feels a little twee or corny.
Right. There's this thing right now. Jillian and I call it like Gen Z lyrics, where it's like the most specific verses ever. Like
Yeah.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like I was standing on your driveway in my pink corduroy and
Right.
and your dad rolls in his button up and he, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's just like
every detail.
Because
Yeah.
that was like, that's kind of a trend that started with country music here. Like country lyrics back 20 years ago, like were like that, where it's just like, well, I'm sitting here, I'm drinking a beer, and there's a beer in my friend's hand, and we're sitting there, and his name's Stan. And,
Yeah.
it was just very like obvious stuff. And it's so wild that now that's been just passed on to like Gen Z for everything.
for everything.
Which is so wild.
Yeah.
Because it was just like relegated to country music back then,
I don't know. There's like a certain brand of folk music too, where it's like,
Oh yeah.
this like really detailed description of like somebody smoking a cigarette or something, like what brand is it? This whole procedural thing. And you're like, okay, like maybe zoom out a little bit.
Right,
Like,
right.
I don't necessarily need to know that they smoke parliaments. Like,
yeah, for
I
sure.
mean,
That's
it
not
feels
really-
good. It feels good knowing.
Yeah, I mean, it's-
but, you know,
it's
like what's the relevant piece?
It's wild because, like, yeah, I mean, I'm old. I'm like a Gen Xer, so it's just like, you know, lyrics for us like was Kurt Cobain. Just, you know, it's almost like just whatever
Just
words.
it's
Just random abstract imagery
I was
and
gonna
stuff.
say,
you
yeah,
know,
a lot of
like-
Nirvana's lyrics. I mean, maybe they meant something to him, but like don't necessarily make.
No,
any
they
sense.
no, most certainly. I can almost guarantee, like, not that I know for sure, but my opinion is they certainly don't mean anything.
Yeah.
They just like sound cool and it paints a picture.
Yeah.
And it's actually something I've been playing with a lot recently with some of the new songs I've been writing, which is fun. It's definitely a fun way of writing. It actually is so freeing. I wrote this one song that it's going to be on my album coming out soon called The Lioness. And it was where I just practiced that idea of just like painting imagery and not caring about staying true to one specific story. It's just like this broad concept and just like painting pictures. And I wrote the song in 20 minutes and it's one of my favorite songs.
Nice.
Love
Wait,
that.
okay, are you gonna play it?
Can I like,
Send it over. Yeah.
can I send it to you guys?
Yeah.
That would be amazing.
Totally.
I got the demo of it. I'm actually next week we're going in to record into a big studio to record the live drums on it. It's a bit of like it actually sounds very Nirvana-y. It's got the major 3. It's got,
Sweet.
it's got all,
Oh, I can't wait
You're
to
like
hear it.
doing full band stuff now more.
yeah, definitely. I've for the last few years I've just been producing in my bedroom, and I always I've gotten quite good at programming live drums and making them sound quite real, but I think I want to, for this record, explore actually playing them and recording them in the room and just seeing where that takes the songs.
What
It's
a
a different.
concept.
It's a different energy.
What a concept! Going back, we're
You know
going
what I
back.
mean? Like, yeah.
Says the drummer.
Yeah.
You gotta go in there and
Yeah.
hit things, and then
Yeah,
No, it is just different energetically too. I mean, no matter how how good the loops you're using are, like, or I think there's just something about like the energy of like a drummer playing drums.
Yeah.
Yeah.
the fills just like have this more emotion to it, and they transition the sections a lot nicer,
Yeah.
and every hit's different.
yeah. Oh yeah.
You know, like when you're programming snares and kicks and hi-hats, like most of the time, like, you know, you can bring with like the hi-hats, it's so meticulous, but you
Yeah.
go in and you're like, all the
Like
two,
the velocity on
the
them.
velocity,
Yeah.
the 2 and 3, you bring them down, and then
Yeah.
and you change the sample every now and then, and just like slightly put it out of time. It's this whole thing, but it's exhausting. I just want to go in there and like,
Just go in there and
Smash
hit
it.
some stuff.
That's so
so you're
cool,
gonna play
yeah.
drums.
there's 2 songs where I'm playing drums, and then 2 where I've
Oh yeah. I
bring-
forgot you're a drummer.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't really call myself a drummer. I can drum. I can definitely like hold down the fort if need be.
That's a drummer.
Right. I mean,
Sure.
I love albums where like the one person, like, I mean, Pete Yorn comes to mind. I don't know if you know him, but
I
from like
don't.
20 years ago. I'm old. References. I guess that's saying.
check him out.
But like, but like his first album, I think he like played a lot of his own instruments on that. Really, it's a main line to like your vision,
Right,
You know,
right.
rather
It's
than trying to
un-
say play it like this, you're actually doing
it's
it.
this
you know?
undiluted like
Yeah.
form of art. I think it's really cool
Yeah,
for
yeah,
sure.
yeah.
Yeah, it's funny because I think a lot of times it's probably coming from economic necessity more than like a real desire. But if you actually have like the proficiency to do it, yeah, why not just like
Do it
cut out the
yourself, yeah.
middleman?
Yeah, I mean, it's just I would love to play all the songs, but there's a few songs where I think it's a bit too technical for me. Yeah, but no, it's good. It's good fun. I
Are
love
you
it.
gonna try though? You gonna try it at least?
Yeah, I
With the
think
technical ones?
this lioness one, I'm going to try and play.
Oh.
So there you go. That's actually something I picked up from the Americans. I can't go back to there you go. I go there you go.
There you go.
There you
there you
go.
go.
That's so true. It's very like, there you go.
That's
funny.
Because Jill's dad says all the time. He goes, "There you go." That's good. I started just like being a parrot with it, and now I can't get rid of it.
Do you ever trip people out and just speak with American accent all the time?
Yeah, I break so often that it gets sketchy. But if I'm going to Taco Bell and I'm getting a crunch wrap, I'm gonna do it in the accent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can
so-
I get a crunch wrap, please?
yeah.
Can I get a crunch wrap, please?
It is funny to hear people like pop in and out though. Like again, like I was working with this British actor, and he's like, I'm not good at like what the regions are, but
Right.
he was playing like a guy from Pennsylvania, you know. So this, like very like hard R American accent. It was just so funny to hear him be like, "Can I have a hot water bottle?"
Yeah, right.
And then, pop back into like, "Yeah, okay, guys, let's play this show." Whatever.
Isn't it so weird?
Yeah. It's kind of an incredible skill to have, to be able to just like,
To just be able to, some people can do so many accents.
yeah, and like to like remember your lines, do it in character,
Yeah.
do it in the proper accent, and then also like hit all your marks and like
Right, but that's the thing. I've been doing a couple of self tapes recently because I'm just such a fan. I'm almost like my favorite pastime is not listening to music; it's watching shows. So like
Oh, fun.
that's why I was obsessing over Ozark before.
Yeah.
It's my second time through. I just
You're just kind of feeling inspired to try acting because
right. I've always
Oh
been.
my God, yeah.
I've always been inspired to try it. And so for the past few years, I've had like an agent, and I'll get sent self tapes every now and then, and I'll do. But I'm aware that I'm probably not going to book anything because I've never taken an acting class or whatever.
Right.
That doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter, right? So
Yeah.
like you never know.
Yeah.
But it's kind of just like for me, like an easy way to start like dipping my toe in and practicing
That's
and
amazing.
diving into these random characters and practicing the accent with it. And that's one of the biggest things I've struggled with. And I'm slowly getting better, but when you're thinking about trying to do the accent, it's really hard to just be in the moment and like pretend it's not a scene and these aren't lines. And because that's the most important thing, right? Is like know the situation and like react using the lines, but react like as you would in that moment and not think about the lines too hard. But that's all I can do when I'm trying to do an accent.
Yeah, I mean, I can't imagine how it would be different because it's so like kind of technical and like intentional. I mean, you're just kind of trying it out to see how it goes. And
honestly, I don't know what I want out of it because I can't. I think I'm almost too much of a self-conscious human being to like be an actor. You really have to let go of of everything to be an actor, to be a good one. And I don't know if I'm capable in this stage of life to do that like well. But it fascinates me, and because I've got such a appreciation for it, I don't know if I want to ruin it for myself and taint it. But like. But it does. It excites me, and like doing these self tapes and putting myself in these roles has been really like fun, and it's a good practice just for all walks of this biz. Like going out on stage and like really just forgetting that I'm on stage, right, and that I'm like playing these songs that I've played a million times, and just thinking about the lyrics and just actually telling a story and just thinking about it and feeling the emotions. Self tapes were a good practice for that.
yeah, I
well.
mean, it's a cliche, but like finding your motivation. Like, what's my motivation, and that totally translates to musical performing too. Because
For sure.
Yeah, connect to the truth of it. That's it.
making sure you're emoting the feeling of the song and not just like performing it, I guess.
Exactly. Yeah. So.
And I mean, it's probably like at least fun. And then it's like, well, maybe one day somebody will cast me. I don't know.
Yeah, you never know.
No, it's true. Australians are literally cast for shows here all the time.
All the time.
So just being Australian, you're already a leg up.
Right. Well, I have to do the self tapes like say it's 3 scenes. I have to do all scenes in the American one and then in the Australian.
Oh, really?
And I
wow.
love doing an Australian because I can just be normal.
Yeah.
Just be the dude. And then I just get so much harder with the American one. I feel like I sound like a frat boy.
Yeah.
No, that's what's so funny is just I think like a lot of Brits and Australian people like get the roles because it's that whole thing about writing for other people or like
Maybe they just are taking it more seriously.
Disassociate a little bit more.
Yeah, so you can kind of like step into it more fully because you can kind of get a more like if it's too close to yourself, you don't really know. Like it's not as much jumping into another character as like somebody who speaks in a completely different accent.
Oh, that's an interesting theory.
Yeah, for real.
Exactly. Full circle. There you go.
There you go.
There you go.
Terrence is like, there's another
There
one.
you
Bada bing,
go.
bada boom.
There you go, kiddo.
How many? Oh my God, was
That's
that
so
you?
good.
That was me. Sorry.
There you go.
Hysterical. For some reason, like that really came into my headphones and like with almost like
There was a
reverb
bit
or
too much
something.
bass in that,
It
wasn't
was
there?
great.
I really lent into the mic on that one.
Yeah. So all right. So you're recording. You're doing some self tapes. You just got off tour. You're about to go record some live drums. That's gonna be fun.
Can't wait.
And then like, do you have like let's just say a 2-year plan? Like what is like the next year or so look like for you?
The next year, well, I've got this album that I need to get out, and I've been sitting on it for a while. Some songs are like 3 years old.
Oh my goodness.
wow.
Yeah.
And that happens a lot in this industry. It's really hard these days to get songs out. There's a lot of red tape and hoops you have to jump through. So what I want out of the next couple of years is to be able to I want to get this record out and get all the old stuff out that I'm still proud of course, but I want to be able to make a record, then go away for 2 weeks, make some cool visuals, video, photos, and then put it out and go on tour and then rinse and repeat. I don't want to sit on songs and like
Yeah.
spend years writing albums and then getting very messy with it. So all I want to be able to do in this life is to make records and then be able to tour it and to like build the show and have it grow. So just touring and putting out music and writing music, the same old.
Yeah, like
Groundhog Day for
actually
me.
doing the musician job. Yeah.
Right. So
Well, that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, that's a good goal. That's very focused. Well, I hope that works out. Do you want to introduce this snippet of this new song from your upcoming album?
yeah, so this is a little taste of what's to come on this record. It's the song we were talking about before.
Yeah.
It's like Nirvana-y influenced.
Nice.
Yeah.
And it's just a demo, so this is like the raw version of what it will be.
Just took my foot off the neck of a lioness. I can't be fooled once, fooled twice. I'm out of it. I'm such a stain. Won't you paint me however you see me? I won't close my eyes. I dreamt of you in the middle of gym class. Had one foot in, one foot out, much like the middle class. I can't relate to the person I was when I held you so effortless. I said, hey, I'm not trying to be saved. I'm not crying, it's just raining. I'm not lying, it's all fake. What can I say? Just stay out my way home from school.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Thank
I'm so
you.
excited. We got to hear it first.
Hey,
Thank
thanks,
you so
guys.
much, Jack.
Yeah.
of course.
Thanks for coming out. This is lovely.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate
Yes,
you guys.
thank
Are so
I appreciate
cool.
you being here, and it's so good to see you.
Always. And I can't wait to get spanked.
Oh man,
And pool.
You are gonna get so royally spanked in some one-handed pool.
And then I'm gonna return the favor with some two-handed ping pong.
All right, done, done.
Shots fired.
Yeah, that sounds like a great mandate.
Right? Let's do it.
Make sure to follow our Instagram if you want updates on the outcome of
The
this,
outcome of the spanking.
Oh yes.
this clash of the Titans.
That's
yeah.
a total full circle moment right there.
That's how you wrap a show up, right there, guys.
That's it. That's how it's done. Yeah.
Thank you, Jack.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Jack.
Thanks, guys. You're the
Yeah.
best. Cheers.
Well, isn't he just a delight? And as far as I can tell, he's already doing the musician job pretty darn well. I can't wait to hear the produced version of this new song and all the others on the upcoming record. We can expect that in early 2024, which is very, very soon. Wow. Follow him on Insta at Jack Gray Music to keep up to date, and check him out on Spotify. He's got a couple really excellent EPs and singles up there, so take a listen. Follow us on all the things as well, please. You don't want to miss our ping pong, pool, Clash of the Titan challenge updates, and please subscribe, rate, and review on your preferred podcasting platform. We've got a few more episodes for you this year and some fun surprises for next season. Check out our show notes for links to music, socials, and all the other random stuff we mentioned in the episode. Love y'all. Stay warm.